This game really is pulling out all the stops. Like, this is such a demanding escape sequence. Uh-oh. That was close. Easy does it. Look at all these freaking hoops I have to jump through. This is nuts. Calm down. Whew! That was a lot of tries. She left them to burn. Thought she vanquished my light. I thought I was actually going to read it for real because I heard Ori. But yeah, Ori, please get up. The spirit tree, so close. He's our only hope left. I am playing. And I'm just at a jog, so this is more of a cinematic gameplay part. The spirit tree's near. There's one step more to take. The Forest of Nebel will live once again. Now how the hell did you get here? I guess you didn't take the same way we did. There's no possible way. Oh, I'm playing! Been a long time since I've done that. With Naro. Wow, that was a really solid ending. Interesting that the whole idea was that we were sad that Naru died and then Naru was resurrected later, but ironically Ori was the one who died in the end. However, of course the forest was resurrected and it looks like Kuro's child may come into the world once again. This was really well done and absolutely gorgeous visuals and soundtrack. It kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong 64, where a bunch of tracks are similar but handled in different ways depending if you're underwater or in a lava area or something like that. It's pretty clever that they were able to make that happen in that way. The main theme came up a lot, but with different contexts depending on what you were doing in the game. I get a kick out of that Kuro was in the drawing as well. Like, we made it work. Very, very well done. What a gorgeous game. And for a Metroidvania, surprisingly emotional. Metroidvanias aren't usually big on story, and this is still low-key compared to story in a lot of other games, but this was one of the deeper Metroidvania stories I've seen. Very well done. I'm curious as to whether anything happens after the credits. Guess we'll see how this plays out. Definitely liking the whole environmental message there is as well. Oh, this was Unity? Damn, impressive. Unity is apparently a pretty diverse engine. I have seen radically different games using the Unity engine. Like Nightcry, this, Girl and the Robot, like, those games aren't even close to each other. Oof, that's a lot of Asobo Studios. I gotta say props to everybody who was involved with making this game. Probably the only thing I would complain about is the air dash not being... like being a mystery. I didn't know how that I had to dash to get the air dash, but it's not like you just walk up and get the dash. I guess maybe the game assumed you would get it later, but you could get it at the very beginning, so I was just kind of confused with air dash for a little while. And dash was in an area that looked like it was supposed to be late game with the light-dark thing going on, so I was like, ooh, maybe I better come back later. But that was, other than that, that's pretty much it. Anything you really need to figure out, the game tells you. I do admit I had to look up that I had to, in the first Kuro escape sequence, dash in the opposite direction of the enemy to redirect it. I was used to doing that with projectiles, but not launching enemies into walls. I could not figure that part out. But that and the air dash are the only parts of the game I actually had to look up. That's one thing I like about games like this, with Metroidvanias especially. You'd better have context clues of where to go. These games are designed with backtracking in mind, but I was never at a point where I was like, I have no clue where I'm even supposed to be going. So I appreciate that the game led me like enough to the point where I'm able to figure out generally what I'm supposed to do, but exactly where I'm supposed to be going. The only reasons I ran around in circles were that I was just looking for more power-ups. I never did get all of them, but at that point it would have just been for satisfaction's sake. I got every life and energy power-up. It would have been just kind of nice to do, but, you know, oh well. Still a fantastic game. And thank you, Moon Studios, for making such a gorgeous game. And look at that, there is a post-credits thing. Kind of. Part of the credits. Surrounded by our delicious, delicious fruits. No, that's it. Yeah, you're back at the title screen. Well, this was a fantastic game, and I'm happy that I played it. Well, here we are one more time in the Blackroot Burrows. I have a couple of extra things to show you. The first is this area. Remember this area? I came here after learning Stomp, and then I said, ooh, I'm not ready for this area yet. Well, it turns out that I really could have beaten it the whole time. There's actually an ability that I just never got. Never used in the entire game. So this is the opportunity to show that off. If I can do it without dying, of course. This is a little trickier because I don't have the dash. I'm used to having, well, I have regular dash, but I'm used to having air dash. Alright, not terrible. I went for attack upgrades this time around, so that's why I was able to take that bird down a little quickly. But then we get this. Light and dark in innocence born. And though she was lightless, a friendship still formed. We saw a scene like this when we first entered the Blackroot Burrows. I think this is, Definitive Edition stuff. But the bond that was made, because there's Naru's father. Would soon be dissolved. And so Naru and whatever group she's from cannot hang out with the Ori-like creatures. And for the record, here are my upgrades. I really went all out with attack because this file was for the purpose of just getting to this point. I want to get my last ability here. Here it is. Soul could cast our light. Even in the dark she would see. She lived deep in this grove. Now she rests here in peace. The final ability. Light Burst. Now, this is an important thing, because I cannot leave this area. Now, there were several parts of the game where these doors were around, and I figured there's got to be some sort of stake that I could stomp to open those doors. And in a lot of cases there was, but in some I just couldn't figure out what to do. And, well, remember these little heart-shaped things over here? The thing I just bumped into the thorns guarding on the left here? You see it? Well, it turns out those were functional the entire time. We saw in the playthrough I activated them as I carried that little light ball through the earlier part of Blackroot Burrows, but now? Up and down adjust power, left and right adjust trajectory, so... there's the idea, right? And... they explode. That's how you do it. Even from the beginning of the game, these things were around, and I never knew what to do about them. This is what to do about them. You see? And we are out. Now normally I would cut the clip right here because you get the idea. This is the last power. But it turns out there's actually something else to investigate in this place. And I just need to remind myself of how to get there. Probably to the right. I'll look for it, but there's more to this area than there may seem to be at first. Back to my endless mapping, right? Yes, this can blow up. I haven't tried it on enemies because I just associate this more with puzzle solving than anything else. The good news is that while late game abilities would make this area easier to navigate, I don't require them. Although that was just a nice little secret, I guess there's more to investigate. That looks like just an item, so I'm not going to bother with it. Whoops. Well, we'll catch up. And we are back. So let's check out this area. We can go even further down. Oh yeah, here's something I never capitalized on, even though I should have. You can reflect the frog shots back at them. That'll make my life way easier in the first playthrough, I think. Ah, it was close. Here we are. Looks like I might have hit a dead end. I wonder if I want to go deeper into the moon grotto. Oh no, okay, there might be something to the left and down. Because I know that I'm not completely done with this place. Also, I don't think I'm making this. Yeah, that's something I think I might need the glide or the extra jump for. It's fine, but I can go down here. Although I might actually need another ability to get across here. I could try something, but I can't guarantee how much it'll work. And here we have a rare situation here, which is a pressure switch. I don't even know if this game's really done that before. Pressure switches. But it is what it is. Yeah, that was not a good idea. The problem with this area is that... Actually, it's pretty good. I have limited shots, but I actually did it. I'm gonna need that energy back. That's something. I don't remember where this ultimately takes me, though, because there's the left area and there's the right area. Oh. Hey. Take that. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, that did matter. How about that? I don't know if I'll be able to deal with these enemies. They're a little too high up. I'll take what I can get. Oh good, I think I am going to where I wanted to go to. Look at this, there's this whole area of the game I just never engaged with. Because I didn't think I was ready at the time. Oh, and I'm glad I leveled up because that's full heal. And I saved right before I could have died. Deserve that. Yeah, this place looks pretty gorgeous though, doesn't it? On light bursts. Can I do that? Really? I don't think I even knew this. And you might be wondering, how could you have not known this if you've played this area before? I just used the super jump, like the end game super jump, instead of playing around with this light burst thing. That's insane. I didn't even know that was a thing. However, I do have the problem of needing to get... Oh, I remember this. Haha! Clever game, isn't it? Although I still can't get in. This whole time I didn't realize I can use that to make my own bash point. That is ridiculous. I think I ran into this area too quickly to notice the message the first time, so it just never occurred to me. I just used the super jump to make it to this whole area without even thinking. Done. And I can still go out of here. Absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot more going on in this game than I thought. Oh, so I actually needed to go this way anyway. Okay. Well, we're good. What about this? How come this door is locked? What? Oh! Not so bad. Once again, gorgeous music that I don't think we've heard elsewhere. And that takes me back out. I don't want to be back out yet. I want to get to the big reveal this game has, or this level has. So, we've come full circle. Now, we can drop. And I guess go underwater, because why not? I haven't even upgraded my oxygen capacity, or my lung capacity. But that's okay, I don't need it for, I think there's only one area in the entire game I might need it for, and that was, of course, a bonus area. But here we have the final thing that I wanted to show you in terms of new level. After his passing, she left, and never returned. Though they are gone from our forest, there is no time to grieve. Remember those who have passed, and they will forever live on. Yeah, so this was a sort of extra area. This was Naru's home before the one we started in, which has a similar Dreamcatcher thing going on hanging out here. And Naru even died kind of the way her father did. It's sad, but it shows a cycle of life and death. And then the it took a lot to get here. The last fountain is way up here, so this is supposed to be the exit. It's a fountain out. Now at this point there's only, well there are only 2 other things I want to show you. One is a push button code. Left, right, down, up, 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 A. Anything? Now we have left, up, right, down, up, 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 jump. Anything? Alright, fine, I'll do it with the keyboard. There we go. Orange Ori. Pink Ori. Greenish. Pink again. Is it random colors then? Green again. Blue. Or bluish. Greenish. Darker blue. It looks like you can go through a whole spectrum here. A little lighter blue. Isn't that cool? Left, up, right, down, up, 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 jump. It's a cool little thing. Well, we're back, and there's apparently another cheat code we can input. Up, right, down, left, push in the right stick, up, up, and jump. I'll try it, but it's kind of hard to do. It's tough because I'm gonna have to go back and forth between the keyboard and the controller, but let's try it. Yeah, there we go. Low-key teleportation. I don't know. I wonder if it's key areas or what. Yeah, isn't that bizarre? So you could actually low-key teleport in this game. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. It's a little funky, but there's a small teleportation thing if you are ever interested. So Ori's got a lot going on, and guess what? I have one more amusing thing to show you. Okay, here we are in the last part of the game I wish to show you. We're in Sorrow Pass. The area above this giant abyss, you know, where the fountain is way down there. And this is my 100% file, which means that I've maxed everything out. So I have Ultra Stump, Rapid Fire, or Rapid Flame, but I have Rapid Fire, even better Charge Flame, and Ultra Split Flame. I can hit up to 4 targets at once. So Ultra Stump, Super Flame, yeah, and I'm a force to be reckoned with. I can't exactly show you 4 targets right now, but... Wow, nice shot, Frog. Yeah, I am a force to be reckoned with, as long as I don't get hit by every single projectile. But the reason I came here in particular is because of this frog. Now remember, you can reflect projectiles at enemies, but you could also reflect enemies themselves with the bash. So if I knock this particular frog off of this particular cliff, then you get a surprise. He's not really cooperating with me. Alright, fine. Here we go. Yeah, we have a Wilhelm scream in Ori and the Blind Forest. Just an amusing little Easter egg. Well, that's the last thing that I wanted to show you of this game, so I hope you enjoyed it. This has been a wonderful time. Well, we have done it. We've beaten the definitive edition of Ori and the Blind Forest, and this game was gorgeous and emotional, and it had a bunch of cool stuff exclusive to the definitive edition. This was a lot of fun to play, and, you know, this doesn't come up too terribly often, but I have to say that I really appreciate that this game didn't have a villain. Kuro was the antagonist, of course, but she was kind of the hero of her own story. Look at Ori, just running around the forest, spreading more and more light, which is straight up fatal to Kuro and her family. She was just trying to save herself. It's not like she hates the light because she's evil. It's actually dangerous to her. Whereas darkness is not necessarily dangerous to Ori, but all of the poison and the blight is a problem. So this seems to be a case of settling things in some degree of moderation. Light seems to be better for a lot of the wildlife here, but Kuro just wants to survive. There was never real antagonism. Kuro was ironically on the defense most of the time. Obviously, Ori can't directly fight her, so you could argue that Ori was on the defense whenever Kuro would show up, but Kuro was trying to get preemptive strikes in to prevent more of the light from spreading. So it was an interesting dynamic, and only at the end did Kuro realize that she would be doing the same thing to Ori and Naru that had been done to her, so things have gone too far, and everything's on fire, and that's no good for anybody either. So Kuro made the ultimate sacrifice to somewhat undo damage that she had done, because she didn't intend to set everything on fire. That was an unfortunate accident. So that was really clever storytelling on that part, and it's very much appreciated. Now, I had some complaints earlier in the game regarding not knowing how to do the air dash, and oh wait, it's supposed to come from the dash. Well, I didn't know that either. I believe the Blackroot Burrow and the dash were definitive edition locales and moves, so the dash was not normally something you would use at all to complete Ori and the Blind Forest. It's convenient, but it wasn't necessary. So getting the air dash required that, but those moves were just extras. So that's why they weren't incorporated into the 8-way, not a wheel, but you know, the circle of moves you can learn. It was never expressed because it wasn't relevant the first time through. Otherwise, I assume the same goes for the light grenade. I never needed it to beat the game. It's just kind of cool to have if you do go for it, and you get that extra lore regarding Naru's home and past, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a little weird that that wasn't brought to the player's attention. The air dash is right there in your moves list, but they never mention the dash. I don't know, I think they could have been mollified if they had done that. Or, not mollified, but addressed. And the only other, probably just direct complaint I would have would be the lack of ability to rebind the control keys on the keyboard. With the controller there was no problem, but the keyboard I just could not get used to. I was able to use it enough in the beginning of the game, but if I had to do those crazy escape sequences at the end, I do not think I would have been able to pull it off. I appreciate that they give you a keyboard and mouse, and controller option, but rebinding the keys would have been nice. Otherwise, though, I really only have positive things to say about this game. It has a great, subtle-ish environmental message. I mean, I know the whole thing is saving the environment, but it doesn't beat you over the head with, you kids should do this too. But it felt nice to restore the forest to its former glory, and again, there were technically enemies in the form of Kuro and a lot of the other stuff, but they're really mostly just animals being animals, which was pretty clever. Again, there's no evil in the game. There's just, this is not good for survival, which was a clever take on the whole thing. And I've already mentioned that I like that the music is largely the main theme, but used in different ways to provide different enough tracks to have a full soundtrack in the game. That was quite cool as well. I really love this game, and I'm very happy that this was brought to my attention. Thank you very much, TK-sensei, for choosing this game for me to play. And of course, thanks goes to everyone for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. And special thanks also go to Dracologist, MeGamer, and TK-sensei and Elena for creating their amazing title cards. This game has been a blast, and I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, everyone.